Alright guys, good morning, good afternoon, and today we're going to talk about what is overlanding and then what is getting the proper platform vehicle for your overland adventure that you're about to start. This is going to be part one of probably a multi video series that I'm going to put out. It'll be a short one, not too big. But first thing a lot of people need to understand is what is overlanding, because a lot of people have their own perspective of what it is, and I'm going to go off what Google says. All right, and then you need to understand what the best platform that you need for what you want to do in overlanding, and we're going to get into all that real quick. So, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, on my Instagram page, I'm doing a giveaway. So if you're following me on YouTube, if you go over there and you comment 3 people, tag them in it, and then write subscribed, you will be entered to win the giveaway. So let's get started. First thing, I'm going to read what Wikipedia says. What is overlanding? Overlanding is a self-reliant overland travel to a remote destination where the journey is the principal goal. Okay. Typically, but not exclusively, it is accomplished with a mechanized off-road capable transport where the principal form of lodging is camping, often lasting for extended lengths of time and spanning international. Now, taking that into consideration, going extended lengths of time and probably going places where you can't get supplies, so you need to be able to carry your supplies on the rig. So, planning is everything when it comes to overlanding. So, but a lot of people really don't know what kind of platform should be the best platform for what they want to do. So you kind of have to figure out what you want to do and then think about like the simplest things. Well, if I'm going to go on long extended like months or even longer, okay, you're going to want to get places where you can get, water, fuel, whatever you need to be there. Now, my idea of overlanding is going out to remote areas and staying out there for a little bit. So you want to be able to bring your supplies with you to handle you being out there for that long period of time. So that being said, you got to have payload that can handle that. You need a powertrain that can handle that. You need a power plant that can handle that. So let's get started on things. So the first thing you should do is think about what you want to do while you're out there, because that takes in accountability of that space, that's weight, that's room, everything. You want to go kayaking, you might need to put kayak brackets on there, which adds, might be not that much weight, but every little bit counts and it adds up quick. Looking into, you also might want some, you want to probably go places where big rigs can't go. So now you need to find a platform that's small, but has a lot of power and a lot of payload capacity. So understanding what you want to do and then understanding payload, powertrain, all that, now it's time to go pick out a rig. So for instance, when I did my search, I wanted a small compact rig, and turns out that what I wanted to do, that is not an option. Could be an option if I wanted to spend a ton of money, but it would have been cheaper for me to get a larger rig, and I'm also the type of guy that doesn't mind getting scratched up, so went with the larger rig. And it helps because now it also gives me more room to fit more things, which causes me to add more weight. So it's kind of a fun subject when you get to this stuff. So one of the things we're going to talk about are what is the payload of a couple very common vehicles on the market today that are usually used for overlanding. Then we're going to talk about what my truck's payload is, only because it's knowledgeable, and some of the things that you might take with you on overlanding that weighs and how much it weighs, just to kind of give you an idea how fast this is going to add up. I just by accident closed out one of my searches, so gotta open it back up real quick. Oh my God, can't type there, did I? So, here we go. First truck we're going to talk about is a Toyota Tacoma. A very popular, very easily modified overland rig on the market. Its payload capacity, I just had it here, is around 1420, 1,420 pounds. All right. That seems like a lot, but really it's not. When it comes to overlanding, you can easily fill that up. Now, does that mean that's where you're going to be? No. If you modify your power plant, if you modify your drivetrain, you modify all of these things, right, you can get more out of it and it won't be as a problem. So keeping that in mind when deciding, you know, how much money do you want to spend? Do you want to go in extremely modifying and supercharging or turbocharging and doing all these things to get more power so it can move more weight? So that's an issue. And then you also got, you know, your suspension. When you start modifying the suspension, you lose payload capacity, because usually off-road suspension is more set up for off-road and not really carrying gear. So the next vehicle we're going to look at is the Jeep Gladiator. The Jeep Gladiator has a bunch of models out there which they vary in what they're able to carry on payload. So you're looking around 1,090 to 1,600 pounds. A little bit more than the Tacoma, but still not that much in payload capacity. And the reason why I say that is 5 gallons of water in pounds is 41 pounds, a little over 41 pounds actually. So we'll just round it up because it's pretty close to 42. So we'll just say 42 pounds. That's 42 pounds out of that. Most people, like when I go out, I carry more than 5 gallons of water. So I'm almost at 100 pounds in just water. And it also depends on what you carry it in. So, and then you got more fuel, fuel. You carry more fuel with you. You carry, usually a refrigerator full of groceries. Pretty sure the fridge by itself weighs a decent amount. And the payload that you're getting told from is a stock vehicle. It's not modified. So, to go off-road, you want to carry a winch, lights, stuff like that. So all that stuff is now sucking away at your number of gear that you can take. And if you look at, now I'm not saying they did this because of this, but me watching before I got into overlanding, I actually watched a bunch of overland YouTube channels, and I've noticed a lot of them have kind of slipped out of these small overland rigs and into full-size rigs, or what some people call XL rigs now, because they are usually like F-250s, 2500s, so on and so forth, because the payload capacity is way more. For instance, for my truck, the payload, where'd it go? I want to give you the exact number. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here it is 4250, 4260. It's all depending on what model and what engine and stuff that's you get out of it. So that is a lot more weight to put on a rig, and I'm maybe about a tenth into on my truck alone. Now some of you were like, well, if I just do this and this and this and I don't carry all that weight, or we're going to be kind of like borderline, but not over the weight limit of what the truck can handle. You're still, over time, if you leave all that weight on the rig all the time, like a lot of people do, it's still going to strain on the power plant. It's still going to strain on your drivetrain. It's going to strain on everything. So, and over time, you'll start having failures and stuff will start to break. So keep that in mind when you're deciding what rig and what you want to do. And there's things you can do to make up for it. Like, you know, like I said, you can modify like a Toyota Tacoma, supercharge it, do whatever, to handle the more weight that you're putting on it. You can, you know, even like Tundras and whatever you're looking at, there, if you want to get it to get more weight, well, beef up the suspension, beef up the frame, beef up the motor, beef up the tranny, beef up everything, you know, make it a stronger, more powerful rig, and you won't have a problem. I built a LJ back in the day for rock crawling, and left the straight 6 in there for a long time, but then because of all the weight I added to the rig, I started having engine problems and stuff like that, overheating issue, because the engine was working 3 times harder to move what I built out of it. So eventually I went to a big LS swapped, and you know, it was basically just moving its own weight at that point. So, you know, those are things that you can look at. You know, maybe take a Tacoma and put a Tundra motor in it. Just saying. I'm pretty sure that's probably been done. Or what everybody likes to do is LS swap everything. I'm just kidding. Don't LS swap into a, well, it's probably been done, but I don't know. I'm the type of guy that believes if you're gonna go to a bigger motor, at least stay in the same manufacturer. So if you're going into Chrysler, keep it to a Hemi. But it is cheaper and parts are way more accessible from for LSs. So whatever you decide to build and do, make sure that you can, your rig is ready for the stuff that you want to do. Make sure the rig that you're going to pick up is capable of doing what you want it to do. Because the last thing you're going to want is be out overlanding and you break down because like your vehicle just said, I'm done, I quit. And you're going to basically be stuck out there because a lot of, like, you're going to remote places, tow trucks, flatbeds, nobody's going to be able to get to you. It's either that or your buddy's going to drag you all the way back, and you're going to strain out their rigs because their rigs are not going to be meant to carry their payload and tow them. So it becomes a issue. So most of the time you're paying for a helicopter to go out there and lift you out. And there are recovery systems like that. So, you know, usually the things you want to do, like if you're getting into it, I know I have a really good friend, he's doing it to his Tacoma right now. He looks like he's putting 1-ton axles underneath his Tacoma. I know a 4Runner that did all that. They're beefing it up to handle the weight that they're putting in. Don't know what they're doing to the motor yet, but can't wait to see what they're going to do. But it costs money to do that stuff. A set of good, you know, rock jock axles, fully geared, basically bolt and play, you're probably pretty close to 20 grand. So unless you don't want to spend that type of money and build a crazy rig, get a bigger truck or bigger SUV. I hope this video has been very educational. I hope people understand it. If you have anything that you want to put with this, go ahead and comment below. I like, you know, freedom of speech and everybody post their opinions. And again, I'm not attacking Toyotas. I'm not attacking Jeeps. I'm not attacking mid-size trucks. You know, I physically wanted one. It's just what I have planned. Like for instance, this is one of the, like one of my dream goals, and I want to do this before I'm 40. Maybe in a future video I'll explain why before I'm 40. Actually, I'll tell you right now. So as a lot of you know, I'm a disabled veteran. I got injured. I basically have no discs in my spine. I have what they call like a facet syndrome, or I forget the technical, but basically the way the doctor explained it to me, he did a scientific, and I looked at him like, can you dumb that down for me? And he basically said I have a 75-year-old spine. So when I was in the military, I got blown up downrange, and basically I lost feeling in my legs. Like it feels like when you go to the dentist, you have pressure. Well, the doctor I saw in Germany when I was medevac to Landstuhl, they basically told me that around 35, 36, in basically mid 30s, I'll lose feeling in my arms, in my hands. Well, I turned 36 back in December, and actually, I want to say June or July, actually started losing feeling in my arms and hands. They also told me by 40 I'll be in a wheelchair. So, will that stop me? No, I'll just have my vehicle modified for me at that point. But there are things I want to do and enjoy if that does happen. They nailed the loss of feeling here, so it made me nervous. So, but one of the things I want to do is I want to go to Alaska, and I either want to do an elk hunt or, you know, and I will eat. I'm not trophy. You know, either like an elk hunt or a bear hunt, something big. And basically my idea is, and there's a couple other YouTubers that want to go with me, it's kind of a goal for them as well, is we want to take our trucks, set up base camp with the trucks. And then usually we'll probably try to find like a lakeside or something like that, so we can have one of those water airplanes fly in, pick us up, and take us out to our hunting site. And or get us as close to our hunting site, and we'll hike the rest of the way. But with my medical issues, I don't know if that's going to be possible for me. So wherever we go, I want the vehicles to be somewhat close and a way to get through. So we'll figure all that out. But I, you know, just if I shot a moose, you know what I'm saying, that's a lot of weight. So I have to add that weight on top of everything else that my truck will already have on it. So I want to make sure my truck is set up for that. It's a goal of mine. I have hit every goal in life, and I might have to try a couple times, but I have hit every goal in life. And that's what I feel everybody should do. Never quit, hit your goals. I don't take no for an answer. I will find a way around it. And if it's not possible, then I find a backup plan. So that's my goal. So that's why I went with the biggest rig I possibly can, because I'm going to be carrying a lot of water with me. I'm going to be carrying a lot of fuel with me. We're putting an onboard solar system on this truck. You know, I want to be where I can almost leave my truck out there for months and not have to worry about going back to civilization and, you know, replenishing supplies. It's my goal. And I will figure out how to build that. So think about what you want to do. Now, you know, if you're going out for like a quick weekend or maybe a week, you could probably get away with a Tacoma, you know, short things. Or if you know when you plan your trips, just plan to make stops so you don't have to carry that much. So you go through this, you carry enough food for like 3 or 4 days, and then as you're going to your next spot, you make sure you pass a grocery store. Or there's ways to get around it. It's just, if you're like me, and the less stopping, the more relaxed and fun, and then I'm going to build a rig that allows me to do that. So hope this video has been educational. Again, I'm sorry I'm in my office. It's just that time of year for Texas. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest, it's not the hottest, thank God. As you watch the one video I did, like when I first started, I was like 110 degrees outside and I was dying. So the next video we're gonna do is gonna be talking about basically when you build your rig, what are things you should look for. I'm trying to make this video answer a lot of the questions that I see people, but I'm going to do it without bashing so manufacturers or anything like that. It's even with my companies, my trainers, my employees, they all know we don't talk bad about other companies. Even though there might be some bad juju with them, we don't talk bad about them. So I'll bring that into this channel as much as I can. Now, if I'm doing a review or if I have like a really bad experience, I'm going to let you know. You know, I'm just going to tell you what my experience was. So this will be a legit down-to-earth little series that I'm going to do. So the next one, like I said, is going to be on, you know, modifying and things you should look into and parts you should not go budget on, and then certain things go cheap. You know, it might not be that big of a deal, or look for ways to get stuff for cheaper. You know, we're going to talk about all that. But hey, you all enjoy. Again, hit that subscribe button. Also go to the Instagram, link will be down below so you guys can get into that giveaway. But until next time, I'll see you soon.